Okay, a brief explanation of attack time controllers on synthesizers. For this demonstration, I'll be using the Korg MS-10, which is an analog monophonic synthesizer from the late 1970s, early 1980s. Monophonic simply means that it can only generate one note at a time, no chords. The MS-10 is my personal favorite analog synthesizer. I use it all the time for recordings and also live performances. Now, the attack time control is one stage of an ADSR envelope generator. This is the envelope generator section on the panel of the Korg. And as you can see, there's ADSR, which stands for attack, decay, sustain, and release. And the Korg also has a hold control. In this video, I'm only going to be discussing the attack time control for obvious reasons. The settings of each individual ADSR envelope generator controller will help to determine the contour of the sound which will be generated when you press a key on the synthesizer keyboard. Now, on the MS-10, the envelope generator is applied to the amplifier, which obviously determines the volume of the synthesizer. An envelope generator, including the attack time control, can also be applied to the filter, which determines the timbre of the notes played, and I'll get to that later. The MS-10's envelope generator does not apply to the filter, but only to the amplifier. So we'll leave the discussion of envelope generators and filters for a later date. So as applied to the amplifier, the attack time setting determines, from the moment a key is depressed, the rate at which the volume will go from 0 or silent to the maximum volume. So as you can see right now, this keyboard is set to a minimum or 0 attack time. This means that from the moment I press the key, there will be an instantaneous climb from 0 to maximum volume. I will demonstrate. Let's get some more volume here. No delay. I press a key, maximum volume. Now conversely, if we were to set this to the maximum attack time, in this case 10, this will produce the slowest rate of a climb from 0 volume to maximum volume. Once again, demonstration. To press the key, nothing at first. You hear the volume slowly build up to its maximum. Takes a few seconds to go from 0 to maximum. One more time. Nothing. You hear it fade in. Okay, so obviously settings in between 0 and 10 are going to give you variable rates of climb from 0 to maximum volume. One more time. Okay, so going across the spectrum, 0 or minimum attack time instantaneously climbs to maximum volume. Maximum attack time, in this case a setting of 10 on the MS-10, takes at least 10 seconds to climb from 0 to maximum volume. various settings in between. Try it at 3. Fairly quick build. 5, which is about halfway. A little bit slower than 3. Try one more here at 7. Nothing. Slow build. And finally, once again, maximum 10. Go get a drink. Come back and the volume's building. Finally reaching its maximum. Okay, and there you have, in a nutshell, the meaning of attack time. Okay, so a quick word on filters and how an attack time control or setting might be applied to a filter on a synthesizer. On the MS-10 we have a low pass filter. What that means is that the filter will allow all frequency levels below a certain frequency to pass through and be heard, while filtering out or canceling out or muting out all frequencies above that cutoff point. Okay, now this determines not necessarily the volume, although it does have some implications for volume, but this determines the timbre or the shape or character of a sound, and that's probably best understood with a demonstration. So you've got your low pass filter, you've got a sound here, kind of like a wah-wah. Okay, so how might an attack time setting be applied to a filter? And again, that's not available on the Korg MS-10, but it is on other synthesizers. The attack time, as applied to a filter, would determine the rate at which the sound changes from one frequency or one filter setting to another filter setting. So, for example, between this sound and this sound, if we were to apply an attack time, a slow attack time might sound something like this. Versus a fast attack time, which might sound something like this. Again, it's the rate at which the sound changes from one setting to another setting. So a fast or minimum attack time applied to a filter might sound like this, whereas a slow or maximum attack time might sound something like this. Slow build from one setting to the next setting, whatever those two settings happen to be. And of course, on the MS-10, without the attack time being applied to the filter, obviously we can control this manually. Which can produce more interesting results. But sometimes you want consistency. You want that change to be consistent over time. The other thing is, if you're playing here with your right hand, to do this manually, you need to use your left hand. But you may need to free up your left hand. If you're playing Rick Wakeman style, you may need to be jamming a lead over here. But at the same time, you're using your left hand to play your Hammond B3 organ or a clavinet or maybe another synthesizer. So sometimes you want the synthesizer to do that work for you, and that's the whole purpose of an envelope generator, including the attack time setting. And so once again, in a nutshell, there you have the meaning of attack time, and more later. Peace over and out.